Hello and welcome to the track guide for round 4 of the F3A Season 11, brought to you by RaceKraft Simulations and powered by FRG, the Formula Racing Group. This week we head to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This circuit will seriously eat up everyone's tyres and test their concentration to the limits, as you really need to keep a nice state of flow to be fast and survive. We're running the high downforce package this round and I'm expecting to see times into the 1 minute 13s for the gold sprint. Let's jump on board and take a look. The first left-hander is a little unsighted, but turning in just around the 100 metre board is where you want to be. Just a small lift off the throttle and then back near the start of the yellow curb, and trust that you've got the nose turned in enough not to run wide. It's a late apex into the keyhole, braking just before the 100 metre board, and get onto the throttle as early as you dare for that long run down the back straight. This is probably the best passing opportunity on the circuit if you manage to get a good run out of that hairpin. Corners 4, 5 and 6, I like to leave the car in third for safety, as the car can get out of shape very easily, especially in corner 5. Flat out into the S's, aim for the middle of the group of trees over the blind hill and into the right-hander. Coming into Thunder Valley is just a light application of the brakes and then careful with the throttle over the hill as the car gets very taily here. Just a small dab of the brakes for the left-hander, and then after the yellow curb runs out, medium braking into the carousel. Just drag the brake a little all the way around to get that car rotating. Back on the throttle around pit entry and then flat out to the finish line. There is no time to relax in the final half of this circuit, and I'm eager to see how 40 drivers are going to survive on the short but grueling track. FRG would like to thank our sponsors, RaceKraft Simulations, Virtual Racing School, and Lovely Stickers, for supporting us and enabling everyone to race with us for free. Make sure you tune into Race Stars TV for the exciting broadcast. We'll see you on track, and happy racing everyone.
Australian Formula 3 East Series round number 4 tonight, live from Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Thanks to RaceKraft Simulations, we are here in the silver circuit getting ready for a race, one of 2 races tonight. Silver first, then gold later on tonight for our 626 broadcast. Welcome aboard, my name is Luke. This is Race Stars TV. I will have Dave Roberts joining me in the comm box tonight. We'll throw across to him shortly, but taking you into this at very short notice because we've only got a minute left in quali. We're about to go straight down to the grid, and at the moment it's Dylan O'Shea who has topped the times in this late stages of quali. A couple of cars still out there that can possibly take it to him. Joe Capone's gone P4 again. Oscar's right up there in third. Damien Cairns continues his good form for Taipan Esports. Once again in the top 5. Justin Quinn's up there as well. At Gallo, Scotty Travis inside the top 20, and well, there's plenty of drivers. We've got once again about 30 plus drivers in the silver, and we will have a full house later on when we get to the gold race at about 9 o'clock. So make sure you hang out, get yourselves a drink, get yourself some food, and sit down for a night of racing entertainment. Hello, Dave Roberts. Welcome aboard tonight, mate. Are you doing well? Doing better than this week, last week, I hope.
I got a much more comfortable seat this week than last week, look.
Mate, so yeah, you were in hospital last week. We couldn't have you here, but it's great to have you again tonight.
Yeah, I'm taking the wine by glass instead of intravenous this week.
Can they actually do that?
No.
I wish.
But I did ask.
Awesome, man. So this racetrack, we just saw a Ruse preview there quickly as we brought it into the broadcast. It's an incredible little racetrack, this one. I love the speed. I love turn 1 in particular. Trying to squeeze all those cars through there will be exciting.
Yeah, it's a lovely flowing track, a little bit of, up and down, and it's just got flowing sets of corners. You can't overdrive. You just got to keep it smooth, keep the car in a rhythm, and it's if you get the rhythm, it's great. And while I'm talking to you, Luke, Roo screaming in my ear, wanting a link.
He wants a link? Oh, I can get him a link.
Coverage.
Oh, he always wants a link. Yeah, let me quickly go over to YouTube and get a link. We're about to go down to the grid. Let me see if I can multitask and talk here at the same time. I will do just that, but I'll copy the link. I tend to talk about what I'm actually doing, so I'm copying the link right now and I'm sending it to Roo via Discord whilst talking away, and I usually do that, but to blow the beans on what happened tonight, my computer was doing massive updates and I thought I wasn't even going to be able to make it. I'm taking that big risk, you know, when halfway through a broadcast it can just go restart. That could happen tonight.
Okay. Well, we'll cross our fingers that we don't get a start line infringement, and we have a good night.
I've scheduled it for 10 a.m. tomorrow, so let's hope that actually works this time for a full update of this PC. But anyway, it's looking good. They're allowed to finish the laps they're on. We're just seeing a couple of drivers do that. Spike Goddard's in the house. He's looking forward to some meows again this week. We'll see if we can sneak the odd meow in when the cars go past at full speed. But yeah, this championship's interesting. You know, 3 rounds done. We're already into round 4. It's moving by quickly, and the competition, obviously with the silver, it's a bit of a, it flows. You have some drivers here this week, some will miss out next week, but gold in particular, that championship is mega.
Yeah, you've got a bulk in gold and you've got a bulk in silver that seem to stay in those two each week, and you've got the floaters in the middle who are sort of sometimes into gold and sometimes into silver.
I like that term.
Well, they're sort of floating around the back of the grid on gold, but then the next week, they're in silver and they're on the front row of the grid, which is the beauty of having the two runs in the series.
Sure is. Let's take it straight to the grid now. This is how they will kick off the silver race tonight for round number 4, thanks to or powered by FRG for this F3A Australian Formula 3 E Series. Dylan O'Shea off pole tonight with Guy Leach alongside. It's Oscar out of P3 with Joey out of P4. So there's a good row. That second row of the grid, watch out for them trying to leap forward and overtake the top 2 once we get underway here. Damien Cairns, like I said, has put himself in P5 once again alongside Justin Quinn. And then you've got Scott Travis and Brad Hudson in the top 8. Schmallenberg, that's Timothy, will start in 9th position. Alongside him is Lockie Taylor. There's Casey Atkinson and then Kim Walls running out your top 12. Further down the grid, it is Pat Gallo will start alongside Robbie Griffiths. You've got Joe Terra and James Brumel down in 16th place. Hanley out of 17th with McVeigh out of 18th. And it's Nick Schmallenberg starting from 19th. And Kurt Camilleri running out your top 20. Kevin Little, not in the little red car tonight, he's in the big F3 car out of 21st with Gavin Nin starting alongside him out of 22nd. Johansson and Baldwin running out your top 24. Good to see John on the grid tonight. And then it's Arthur, Lachlan, Barnes and Johnny Lee starting from 28th. Chefs is making sure all his deputies are in order down in 29th, and McLennan start from 30th. Bert Capel at the back in race control with Gardner and Johnson as well for company. Let's take you down and have a look at the cars as they start to, wrap their way around this starting grid. How does that feel, Dave, when you've got that, the grid stretching back around basically the last whole corner?
I reckon it looks fantastic. I don't think I'd want to be back there trying to put the foot down around the corner to get off the grid, but it looks fantastic.
It's almost like, I used to love Bathurst back in the day. Remember when we used to have 50, 60 cars? 60 cars on the grid. Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. But, look, this reminds me of that, seeing the cars wrapped right back around the final corner. There's an overhead shot just showing you the racetrack from the sky. It's a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
We got 1 or 2 pit lane starters as well. Due to infringements in qualifying there.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep, and 3-minute hold time here. We're nearly 2 minutes 40 into that already. So, looking down the order, we've got nearly everyone on the grid. Sheriffs is starting in the pit lane maybe with McLennan, and just seeing if anyone else. We've got Lockie Capel obviously standing by in that Aston Martin safety car. Let's hope that's not needed, but tends to be out there pretty quickly in this series, at least for the first couple of laps.
We got better weather than Bathurst and Suzuka last weekend anyway.
That's right. Well, here we go. 3 minutes is done. We'll hear the revs rise shortly. We'll get underway for this first race tonight. 35 minutes, and then it's followed by the gold, which is a 50-minute race. There will be a pit stop required tonight, unless we get an abundance of safety cars. But here we go. Revs rise. There's your starting order. Watch for O'Shea. Watch for Capone off the second row. Green light comes on. Underway, pretty good start at the front, pretty even. The top 2 got away really well. The second row proved me wrong and fell back. Everyone else has got away cleanly, I think. Nins is dropping positions, but no big incidents to write home about just yet. Good start all around.
Yeah, nice clean start for a change. Good to see after last week.
very good to see as we just watched Kim Walls up one position, and James has made his way up as well. 3 positions off the start. Nice little get-go for him. And Atkinson is the one who dropped 4 positions in the mid-pack. But Dylan O'Shea, perfect start out in front, already pulling a gap, 0.6 of a second over Leach. And then it's Damien Cairns also impressing up in 4th. He's got a flurry of cars behind him as Joe Capone drops back a position almost into the back of Damien Cairns. They are jostling over 5th and 6th at this moment.
What a nice clean opening lap so far. Good to see.
They're being patient, which often they tend to forget to be with these tyres. Obviously very cold.
We might be talking a bit early though, Luke. There's still a couple of corners to go.
Maybe, yeah. They're starting just to stretch out a little bit. We've got a few overtakes back in the pack. But, yeah, put your hands together. This has been a good start. I tell you what, Damien Cairns continues to impress me. Up into 4th now. He made up that place off the start. The number 11 for Taipan Esports. Crosses the line now. Only 2 seconds off the lead. Dylan O'Shea has already pulled out a couple of seconds, though. It was a second over P2. So just what the doctor ordered for him. And he'll be hoping we stay green for this 35-minute race if he can continue this sort of form, that's for sure.
Yeah, Guy Leach in second's an old hand at this. I can remember racing with Guy over 10 years ago here on iRacing. So been around for a while. And Damien Cairns is an ex-V8 vet. Great to see him making the change from the big taxi across to the neat little Moila.
Yeah, completely different cars, isn't it? So the way he can adapt to that is pretty fantastic. It's got to be said. We do have a live race cam for him, which I'm just logging in so we can have a look. But he has given us some, the opportunity once again to watch him and his progress tonight from the RaceStars TV race cam. So
yeah, much different car to drive because the V8's very heavy on the front, pushes a lot if you push into the corner, it understeers, whereas the F3's got lots of front end on it, so you can change the directions fantastic on the car. The faster you go, it's got a little bit more downforce and seems to suck it down in mid-corner, so the harder you attack the corner, the more grip you get. And I think you've got to rewire your brain a bit to get around that so that you understand the way the car operates, and he's doing a great job. It's taken him a little bit to get there, but he's really got the hang of it now.
Yeah, well, he's dropped back.
In gold in a week or two, I reckon.
Oh, we've just put the mockers on him because he's into the pit lane. Cairns in the pits.
It might be just an early pit stop, not an unusual thing to do.
He did drop a heap of positions on that lap. I saw the shoulders go down there on the race cam.
Car out.
We've got a safety car, have we?
So that's good timing for him. He was already in the pits when Rue called safety car.
Okay, we're going to crank up that race control because I didn't hear safety car. We'll put that up and we'll try and find out why we're under full course caution. Now, Arthur was it, I think, maybe involved in that incident that has brought out the safety car. So there we go. Well, we're 3 laps in. We got our first caution of the night. So we're going to have a quick look at the Ben Arthur incident. This should tell us what went wrong here. So here's the replay. He had one of the RaceKraft cars tucked up behind him, and he goes down the inside with a big late dive bomb, but then loses the back end. And did they all avoid him there? They did. Pretty good by everyone else to be able to get around him. Now, why has this caused a safety car though? Because he keeps the engine running, he keeps the car going. Justin Quinn was another one that maybe had an incident there. Let's have a quick look at that.
I think Rue's talking about it.
Oh, there we are. So yeah, Justin's got broken suspension. Hence why we're under full course caution. That's the reason. So we'll try and find, I wonder if that happened a little bit earlier in the lap. I think it did. Here's a replay. The incident, and it was Casey Atkinson and also Damien Cairns may have been involved in this. So let's have a little look. There's the spinner. And yeah, contact. Oh, another one went in as well. So there was 3 or 4 cars involved in this, and that's where Cairns was held up by all that. Let's have a quick look at Damien Cairns' part in that, because we were speaking about him at that time, and I saw him just dropping down the order. So you'll see the big dive bomb. Oh, no, he lost the rear end.
No, just
so he lost the rear end. Yeah.
So he's had to jump on the brakes as he's changing direction, and jumping on the brakes then's lost the rear end, got it round sideways and got picked up by the guy behind. But really unfortunate. But hey, it's early in the race. He's made a pit stop. If he can eke the fuel out to the end, mate, he could be looking good still.
Like you said, that's pretty good timing to get in for a pit stop at that point. Christine Cairns in the house says, let's go Damien Cairns. Hey Luke, hope you're well. Doing well. And Keith Logan's here as well. Hello Keith and everyone else tuning in. Make sure you keep the comments coming through. Shers in the house. Anthony Vismer as well says, bad luck, Damien. And hello, everyone.
Mate, maybe he pulled that himself so he can pull out the safety car and get a nice pit stop for himself, and well-planned, nice strategic move. You never know.
Yeah.
Car 97, please hold speed, no more than 60. Sorry, Dan.
I think we're about to go back to green.
Yeah, I hope no issue. Thanks.
So just as we get set for going back to live, or going back to a start here, I just saw a comment about it. Someone getting an echo. I think that echo might be at your end. I've just done a quick check.
Is that me?
No, not your end. Sorry, at the person who's watching. I don't think there's any echo. I'll just quickly check the stream.
And I think we're good this week. I've ditched the push to talk.
Sounds good, mate. We're back to green. Dylan O'Shea got a jump, so really, really good getaway for him. Further back in the pack, they're all bunched, or they're all, spread out. There's cars almost overtaking. Now, what's the ruling there? You know, being in all the time you spend in race control.
Once it goes to a restart and Roo calls green, it's go.
Yeah, so I think we can hear someone complaining already about that ruling. And Roo's just pointing that out. Sure says no echo, thanks, Sure. And yeah, and that was Roo's reply straight away from race control. Just said, you need to read the rules.
I could have guessed that one.
Yeah, Joe Terra here in a battle with Camilleri. Here we go. So Kurt down the inside, good overtake.
Around the outside, nice move. Nice move.
Yeah, so Joe actually took him back there. Kurt went for the move, and then I love these racetracks which go from right to left, left to right, and it sort of gives the driver that's being overtaken a chance to fight back.
So guys just hanging in there about just a bit under a second off Dylan, so they've got a nice little run going at the front. And then Oscar's about another half second back, so that lead trio, they're hanging on to each other. They're not letting Dylan run away with it.
Yeah, he's done a 1:15.7 that first lap there from the restart. Pretty quick, about 0.6 quicker than Guy Leach behind him, so he's dropped him back to 1.6 seconds now. And looking further back in the pack, Gavin Nins goes through there with Johansson just behind him. And there's John Baldwin. That was the driver that complained about the restart. And obviously not familiar with the rules, but he needs to just get his head down now and get back into this battle. Re-engage with Johansson in front and Nins, who he lost the place to.
Well, so with these F3s, it takes about 2 to 3 laps to get some real warmth in the front tyres. So what you find is on the opening laps, when they're behind each other, they get a little bit of aero disturbance on the front, compounded with the cold front tyres, the things really understeer. So that's why you see the gaps open really quickly on the restarts. But as the tyres get warmer, you've got the mechanical grip that you can overcome a bit of the aero loss, and then you can get back up onto them. So you'll see a gap open and then start to close again.
Yeah, great knowledge, because it's interesting. I haven't actually done a lot of driving in these cars, so I don't really know the characteristics so well, but keep those comments coming through. Sure says, are we going to get more meows tonight? Everyone's keen for more meows. I'm not sure I did the right thing by starting that little tradition last week.
Mate, you can do whatever you like. I just don't want to know what you're wearing when you're doing it.
Right, we'll get some more in later on, but hey, it's Lockie Taylor, just watching his progress. 7th place, up 3 positions. And the 18 car there looking good, putting a bit of a challenge here on Schmallenberger. That's Timothy. A couple of Schmallenbergers out there.
Iconic inspiration by the looks of it.
He is, yeah. No, he's going really well. He's got a pretty nifty profile picture there. Is that a Lamborghini or looks like maybe a McLaren in his photo there?
Yeah, look, well, that sort of door. The straight up door like that. I'm trying to think. Look at Aventador, I think. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So he's progressing well, up 3 spots. The other driver that's doing well is James Thies Brummel, back here in 9th place. Is that how you say his last name? I always muff that one up. But anyway,
I meant it's Thies Brummel or something like that.
He's got the man. He's put the man next to his name, so he's just the man from now on.
What do you call him, the man?
We'll call him just the man.
Okay.
But he's from the TGD Esports team.
Or do we call him Damon?
Dayman, yeah. Yeah, here he goes. So he's just currently 9th place. He's made up 7 positions. The other driver that's made up a heap is 8 spots for Kurt Camilleri, running in 12th place. And a colourful livery there for him as well.
Yeah, it's a great livery on that car. Really stands out a mile.
Yeah, I love that turn in turn 1. It's that classic flick. They can just throw it in, and now with a couple of laps under the belt, the tyres are gripping. Yeah. Car's running wide in the background. It's a good shot down the straight here. You can just see them all trying to find a little bit of a gap, and 3 wide as they... Oh, there's a contact there. There's someone off the track.
And he's clipped somebody else as well.
Yeah, Baldwin was one of the cars around, and Hanley's on the radio requesting a tow. So John Baldwin maybe was the car that spun around there. We'll try and get a quick replay of that as well. And who else was in that? Johnson was in that. We got another safety car.
Okay.
Here's the replay. We'll have a look first of all at John Baldwin. There was a car already off the track in the background, but watch the 35 car here in particular.
He's currently inside there.
Going to lose the back end. That's the third time we've seen that tonight, isn't it? It's the back end goes. Cars locked together, and they try and barge their way out.
You go up a little rise as you enter that corner, which gets the rear end a little bit light. So, you know, he's just lost the... And he's coming in from a tight angle on the inside, a little bit more locked than usual. Car a bit light in the rear, around she goes.
Yeah, flurry of cars in the pit lane now as well. So they're all jumping in whilst we're under a full course caution. Sure, giving me some tips in names there. It's These Brummel.
Thank you, Sure.
There you go. I need all the help I can get. So,
Is that like phone a friend, is it?
It is, yeah. I get 1 or 2 chances. So Joey in the lead of this one now for RaceKraft Simulators. John will be very happy with that.
Yeah, John and the crew at RaceKraft, I'd love to be over there tonight. I bet they've got a room full. John would have had the barbecue on earlier. There'll be drinks afterwards. They make a complete night of it, and what a fantastic group of guys they all are over there.
Yeah, it's great for your sponsorship as well to be back on board. Big thanks to them. I will try and just quickly update you. We do have the competition once again, thanks to VRS as well. You can win that $99 package at the end of the season. I'm going to give you tonight's code word, which is woodchuck. So it's not what's in the description. I'm going to post it in the chat. Woodchuck is tonight's code word.
Sounds like one of Rue's.
So I'm just going to post that now in the chat for everyone to go and fill out. Make sure you enter in. You got to enter it to win it.
While you're on code words there, Luke, we've also got a discount code for Lovely stickers.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Yeah, so we've got F3A Lovely, all in caps, and that will get you a 10% discount on anything from Lovely stickers for the next 6 months. So that's fantastic as a sponsor. Some of their seat wraps are just magnificent. You can see up on screen now. I've got one on mine. I did it myself, but I wouldn't bother now. The quality of their stuff is so good, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And you can even go on there, and they've got all the plate. You can design your own and put your own. Like if you're racing a RaceKraft car, you can go in there and do the RaceKraft livery, put all your graphics, everything onto it. They'll print it and send it to you. How good is that?
That's pretty cool. You've got one on your wheel as well, is that right?
I've got a Porsche factory steering wheel plus 4 Porsche factory stickers on the base, and then I've got the factory Porsche wrap on the seat, but it's not theirs, but I would do theirs. It's beautiful.
That's cool. And I was just seeing the cars weaving there on the safety car. How much does iRacing, I mean, how much does that work for iRacing in their tyre model? Does it actually keep the temperature in there?
Well, let's face it, it's not going to do any harm. And it might, more though than make the tyres hot, it might mean that you lose a little less tyre temperature, which might mean you can get them back to real temperature a little bit sooner. That's all they're trying to do, is just minimise the temperature loss rather than make them hot. But you know, it's a struggle even in a real car if you've got an extended safety car period to keep any temperature in the car. We see that in F1.
Yeah, 100%. So Joey, probably one more lap here behind safety car. We're now 15 minutes in. This will help them save some fuel. The drivers that have not stopped yet is the top 5, and then also Ben Arthur in 8th place, 9th and 10th place. Those drivers have not taken a pit stop. Is that a mistake, do you think?
Depends how it plays out. I think we'll probably see another safety car tonight. It's one of those circuits with the undulations and the sweeping corners. It's really easy to make a little mistake and be backwards in the fence. Fences aren't far away, and you usually end up back on the road, which is safety car.
Yeah, safety cars coming in this lap. We could just hear Roy Coister in the background there, the maestro for the series, just telling the drivers to be prepared, ready to go. So what would Joe's strategy be here for a restart? Will he just try and hold them back a bit? At the moment he's hugged up behind the safety car.
Look, it's a little bit different here because you've got those couple of corners really close to the start-finish line and not a long run. You don't really have to worry about it too much. You're going to try and accelerate at the first point that you can, and make it difficult for the get on it before the guy behind you can get on it, because he's still in the corner. So you'll probably see him go about 2/3 of the way through the last U-turn there, just before the last corner.
Scott Travis up in P2 as well as car 1-2 has just been told it's got control of the field, and that is your race leader. So when he's ready to go, we'll see him jump on that lap pedal
any second now. As soon as he gets a clean run out, he should be right on it. So as he gets to the apex of this next one, should go about now. There he goes.
There we go. So there's the green we can hear as well from Rude Coister. That means that he can now overtake, and they're back straight on it. So about 2 minutes 10 it was under safety car to do a lap around here. Well, they'll halve that almost once they get up to race speed with about a 1:14, the quickest we've seen tonight.
Background there. Everybody looks like they're having a pretty good run.
Yeah. So Hudson just dropped a position, but he's side by side with Justin. We've got a request of a tow again, so Ben Johansson is in trouble. So that's at the corner coming onto the pit straight as well. One of the RaceKraft cars is destroyed.
Well off the road. So
car 41 got overtaken before the line.
Another one who hasn't read the rule book.
Yep.
Yes, you can say.
So Johansson's been given permission to tow. So we'll stay green. Get rid of the safety car light.
I was going to say, we've got a safety car.
No, we're back green. That's just me being tired. That's just my tiredness.
That's right, mate. I know all about tiredness at the moment. Yeah, I'm just looking there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see Damien Cairns back up in 11th place. Is it? Oh, 12th place.
Yep.
So remember we saw him on the opening lap there into the pits. He's not looking too bad now, is he, Luke?
Stop lap 2 took 7.4 seconds worth of fuel. So everyone that stopped,
safety cars?
Everyone that stopped around lap 8 took about 4.5 seconds. So yeah, he may be able to scrape home from there. It'll be interesting, and if he can, he might just find himself up in the top 3, because there's, well, only 2 drivers in front of him. In fact, 3 drivers in front of him that have pitted. Everyone else still needs to make a stop.
He had it a bit sideways coming onto pit straight there before, so another one on the fence there.
Yeah, another one on the fence. Yeah.
Well off the road though.
So Joey leads this one on lap 12. He's been given permission to tow that car in the fence, so we'll stay green. 18.5 minutes into the race. There's Capone, Travis, and they're out in front, starting to stretch away again. 1.4 seconds covering the top 3. Guy Leach, another driver that's dropped a few positions, and just as we look at him, he's involved in an accident here. This could be big. 3 or 4 cars here. You got to try and navigate through there. Cairns just snuck through. Oh, and then Cairns hit the fence as well. So unfortunately, we're going to lose 3 or 4 cars out of this. Yeah. Broken suspension for Atkinson. That's all over.
We're clear.
There's Guy Leach. Look, 22nd and dropping. That's the end of his night, unfortunately.
That looks like a safety car, I think.
Yeah, they've all just passed the pit lane as well, except for Kevin Little. He dived in, probably anticipating the safety car. Everyone else went straight by the pit lane.
Stand by. Safety car, safety car, safety car.
There we go. Safety car.
3rd full course caution here. Or is it the 4th?
I think it's the 3rd, isn't it?
3rd, yeah. So
now, Luke, do you have stats there? Who's the first guy on the road that's actually already pitted?
Dylan O'Shea, and that's to be expected, really. He's pretty much on it, isn't he?
Hold position, everyone. Hold position. Settle down, Tonto.
So Dylan O'Shea, P5 at the moment. Everyone in front of him needs to stop. Will they do it this time around whilst under caution?
So now they're just letting all the cars past the safety car to pick up the leader at the moment. Is what's going on. And once they've got the leader behind, then they'll control the field, wave by the lap vehicles, and then we'll go back to green.
And we can see Joey's in the pits. Oscar is as well. Scott Travis has stayed out. He's rolling the dice on this one.
See how far back Joey drops. So he's 5th, 6th, 7.
27, you go first. Copy.
Now, have we got a safety car out there? I think we do. Yep, it's just waiting down
So it looks like he's dropped to about 14th, I think, Joey Capone.
Yeah, he has, yep.
Yeah, 14th. So came in out of the lead pit. Although they're going slow, they were fairly bunched up.
Coming up the safety car now.
That's the advantage of if you can get in early on the safety car before the cars have bunched up. They're going slow. You can get in, refuel, get out, and you can only drop sometimes 2 or 3 spots. Whereas if you wait until they've all packed up together, even though going slow, you can drop 20 spots. It's all about track position and trying to beat that safety car before the cars all compound together. So there's an advantage, but the sooner you get in, the bigger the advantage.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just trying to jump into RaceKraft as well. Joe's been doing well tonight, and we've now got a quick look at access to his race camera as well. And well, like you said, he's going to have a bit of work to do in the last part here. 14th place now, and some pretty quick cars in front to overtake, and probably only 3 of the 13 drivers in front will need to come into the lane.
Yeah, so we've got all the lap cars being allowed past the safety car now. I think with a bit of luck at the end of this lap, because we've a fair bit of the lap to go still, we should go green.
There he is, Joe, talking to his teammate. There's about 2, 4, 6, 7 or 8 of them in there in that RaceKraft room. Looks like a party.
Yeah, that's right. I was just looking. There's 9 of them in there having a party.
Awesome. All right, we'll definitely
be couple of the guys that are going to be running in gold later, obviously, and they're coaching their silver compatriots to trying to get them a double win.
Yeah, we'll jump in there later and have a chat to them, that's for sure, in the gold session, and we get a bit more time during the gold, but 50-minute race to be had straight after this one. I can see Kieran Ellis in there already practicing, making sure he's ready to go, warming up. Is that a car getting a wave around there? Someone just passed the safety car.
Yeah, there's still a wave around. That'll mean we've got another lap under the safety car. Now that they've compounded the field, the safety car will increase its speed, so he's going up to 120 kilometres an hour now, because they run it slow at the start of the safety car to try and compound the field together to get control of the field. Then once they're all together, then they pick the speed of the safety car up to reduce the length of the safety car period.
Now, I wonder, can Scott Travis make it to the end? What have we got, about 12 minutes or 11 minutes? Probably close to 10 minutes of actual racing time to be had still.
So he hasn't pitted at all?
No, he has not. So Travis Gallo and also Camilleri in 4th place, yet to stop.
So the thing is, they've got Dylan, within a second or 2 of them on the back, and Dylan's got the speed. So I'd be thinking they'd be they're trying to get themselves on the back of a podium somewhere or other by not pitting. But I think Dylan's probably got the speed to get himself back to the front of the field, whether there's a safety car and whether they pit or whether they don't.
Yeah, so O'Shea's got the fastest lap time with a 14.85 compared to the leader of 15.8 and a 16.5 for P2. So yeah, definitely backs up what you just said there about having the speed.
Such a beautiful little circuit, this.
It's fantastic. Big gap between the leader at the moment and Pat Gallo. I wonder what's going on there.
Yeah, they're supposed to stay within 10 car lengths, and I'm just hearing a rumour here giving them an instruction to stay within 10 car lengths of each other, because that is the rule book says exactly the same as the FIA rules. If you ran real F3, real life F3, you've got to stay within 10 car lengths of the car in front, and the leader of the pack must stay within 10 car lengths of the safety car.
Right, they've closed up again now, so obviously they've just had the rules read to them out there, but I thought for a moment Pat was maybe hanging back to try and get a sneaky little run on the race leader off the restart.
No, well, that's sort of what you try and do anyway. You use the 7 or 8 car lengths and try and get some speed so that when it goes green, you've already got pace on the guy in front. But a bit hard here because it's so twisty around the start-finish line.
Here we go. So he gets the jump. Now we're back to green. Yeah, good jump away for Scott Travis there.
Really, really nice jump.
Yeah, and Dylan O'Shea in the background already all over the back of Pat. And here he's having a look. He needs to be patient here because he needs to understand he's got the speed. No point throwing it away.
Up to the key hole, try and get a run out here. And I think you'll see him try and dive up the inside, or maybe around the outside.
Around the outside, yeah, he'll try. Pat's going to hang on the inside and keep the boot in there. Nice job.
I'll get a run on the way out.
Andrew Laughlin's got himself a drive-through penalty for causing an incident on lap 11 race control. Just putting that up on the screen now.
Well, Dylan's putting himself in danger here.
Late on the brakes around the outside.
Beautiful move.
Good overtake.
It looked a bit. I was worried a little bit there as we came down the outside, and the car on the inside was moving over a little bit, but superbly quick through that corner and just took the position away. Now he's out after the lead that he believes is his.
That's it, the close up further back in the field. We're just looking at Robbie Griffiths on the back of Gavin Ince, who's up 10 spots, and John Baldwin, who's been involved in a couple of incidents tonight, is now back into a P11 and making the most of the second half of this race. So good recovery for him. And he now chases down Brad Hudson to try and get himself inside the top 10, which would be a great recovery. Nick Schmallenberg still in 8th as well, up 11 positions on the back of James Brummel, who's up 9 spots into the top 7. And I don't think it's going to be long before Dylan O'Shea is leading this race as we watch Scott Travis under some pressure.
Good run out of here again. It's a great view out between the wing plates there. Now, is he going to make a move down the outside again? And down the inside this time. And straight down. Oh. No, didn't do it. Well defended.
More cars off the track. More incidents. I think Pat Gallo's in trouble there. He's lost the front wheel, has he? Oh!
Oh, and he's taking out someone else.
Secondary contact there. Joe Terra it is. And was it Kevin Little? Yeah, Kevin Little was the other car that got involved in that.
It's Kelvin Little, by the way.
Oh, it is too.
Just picked that myself.
I like Kevin Little. Isn't Kevin Little the little man in the red car? Little mouse? Oh, that's Stuart Little.
Stuart Little. I think Kevin's his brother.
Oh my god.
Look, that's a cracker. Let's go.
There you go. So, right, sorry about that. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in the pit lane, so I think we'll probably, with 6 minutes to go, we'll stay green from here on in.
I think so. I think you'll get a blanket. Will probably go another lap or two. Will probably go a blanket tow. So anybody who crashes in the last 4 laps, you're allowed to tow just instantly. You don't have to request from race control. Because normally what happens is when you have an accident in this series and you have a crash, you actually have to request from race control the tow to the pits. So if you're stuck on the middle of the road, they leave you there until the field is passed to simulate the real thing. And the safety car is only called if there's a car in a dangerous position on the road. If it's over off against the fence, they generally don't call it safety car. But the last 4 laps, for the sake of getting a green finish, because nobody likes finishing a race under the safety car, we tend to go a blanket tow. So what we call a blanket tow, which means anybody who crashes in the last 3 or 4 laps, you can tow straight away.
Yeah, the only people that love finishing under a safety car is Mercedes.
Okay. Are you here?
So look at this, 7.5 seconds the lead. O'Shea over Justin is a walk in the park.
Yeah. And Justin's had a good run tonight. Isn't Justin another ex-V8 vet guy?
He is, yeah.
V8 racer? Yeah, another guy who's made the swap across and doing extremely well.
Yeah, and then you got Brad Hudson and Nick Schmallenberg Only one position out of a top 3 podium, up 15 spots. So himself and John Baldwin, great drive.
Great drive. Keeping their nose clean, staying out of trouble, and taking advantage of the safety car periods.
4.5 minutes to go. We'll probably get 3 laps in, just watching when they cross the line here. And Dylan O'Shea will come around shortly to make it lap 20. Great livery on that car. Looks very good. I know it's a rival sponsor to our series sponsor, so I don't talk too much about it. But the car, the colours, it looks fantastic. It looks slick out there, and he's doing it easy tonight. Quinn, well, he's got no answer for that sort of speed. The last lap was a 14.9 for your race leader, a 15.7 for P2, a 16.2 for Nick Schmallenberg, who has gone now up into a podium spot. He sneaks through into 3rd, and there you go. It's on as well for 4th and 5th.
But it just shows you, the secret to a good finish here in F3A is about controlled aggression. You know, you've got to be aggressive, but you've got to control that aggression, keep your nose clean, keep out of trouble. And these guys are not the fastest guys on the track, but by being a smart racer, they've got themselves a spot on the trying to book themselves a spot on the podium, and it looks like they're going to do it.
Yep, and Nick's done just that now, up 16 spots into the top 3. There he is. He's got a good buffer between himself, between 4th place Taylor. It's just on 1.4 seconds. In fact, Taylor's engaged in this great battle with Oscar.
Now Oscar's got a bit of speed too, so he is probably still a threat to Schmallenberg there in 3rd.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that then. Yeah, his best lap time is a 15.5. So it's on par with, 16.2 is Schmallenberg's fastest time. So, yeah, there's a bit in there, isn't there?
Yeah, look, it's quite a possibility. He's certainly under threat. It's not a given. I think Quinn's far enough up the road with another, what's he got, 5-6 seconds up the road on Schmallenberg. But that last spot on the podium is still anybody's.
There's your pit stop strategy. It's a mixed bag, isn't it, tonight?
Yep. They're still selling tickets for that 3rd spot on the grid on the podium.
Yeah, they are. I'm looking at a 9, nearly a 10-second lead now. Oh, spinner in the background. That's John Baldwin after him.
Spot John Baldwin into the fence.
After such a good rap I just gave him for his run through the field, he's now.
Looks okay though.
Yeah, he'll come out in 17th, I think, once Lucas Burt goes through. I haven't spoken about Lucas tonight. There he is. 16th place now at 15 spots, keeping it. Whoa! Another commentator's curse.
We shockers. We should just both shut
up, he hit the wall too. So. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go, and we've got
car 50 requesting a tow.
A tow for Burt, and we'll probably
whose race do we want to ruin next, Luke?
Well, I'm going to start looking at this 10-second lead and say, "Come on, Dylan, let's make it a close finish."
Blanket approval to tow everyone. Blanket approval.
There we go. So Rue's just given a blanket approval to tow to everybody. So any accident that happens from here, there will be no more safety cars.
Very good. So they fly down through turn 1. Haven't used this shot yet tonight, but it's a quick flyover of the run down towards. I was saving this one for the goal, but we'll bring it out now. Down towards the fly into turn 2, the sweeper, and they come back towards you. Great change of direction when you see how much ground they can cover. These F3 cars, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're very quick through the corners. May not be the fastest thing in a straight line, like a GT3 car or whatever. It will be a bit quicker in a straight line, but there's not much that goes through the corner quicker than these F3s.
So we've got one more lap, I reckon, after this. Just looking, he's about 60% of the lap done. Dylan O'Shea, he's got some traffic in front of him. He's just done a 14.8, so new fastest lap of the race on the previous lap as well. He's got more in the tank, hasn't he? He's not even backing off here. You got a 10-second lead and he's still pumping out fastest laps and four-wheel drifting through the corners as well.
Yeah, he just wants to watch it. He doesn't want to get involved in these 2 guys in the front. He's just sort of sit behind him and let it go. And keep enough distance that if they do have a little tangle together, you don't get involved in it.
I don't think he's listening to you. I think he's about to attack.
No.
Here we go.
That's okay for him. He's driven too well to throw it away on the last lap, but
they get out of the way anyway.
Yeah, beautiful. Really, really nice drive by Dylan.
So 1 lap to go.
Yeah, he'll be up in gold next week.
That's right. Shane Van Gisbergen fan, you think? 97?
Possibly. Yeah, so the top 3 that finish in this, so the top 3 on the podium, they get an automatic elevation to gold next week, so they still have to pre-qualify, but they start in gold regardless of where they pre-qualify. So so you'll see at this stage, Shea, Quinn and Schmallenberg will be starting in gold next week.
There you go. Oh, the back end starts to slide. It's the final lap of this race, and he's still putting 10 tenths in here. He did a 15.5 last time around. That was with traffic. Further back, Justin's got P2 wrapped up. The gap between himself and Nick Schmallenberg is a fair old whack there, and Lockie Taylor will finish fourth. I don't think he's going to catch Schmallenberg.
Yeah, so Dylan's in a groove, and that's his pace, and he's driven the whole race that way, and to now back off and go slower, quite often it breaks your train of thought and ruins the race. And
Takes the checker flag.
Beautiful, great drive.
Good win there. Justin will come across the line, P2. Quite a margin, over 10 seconds it was for the 186 P2, and Nick, great drive for JWM to be back on the podium for this team. It's fantastic. And flying the flag well. What a great livery that is. That car looks schmick, and it has made it to the podium. So well done. That's your top three. We might get some interviews shortly with them, and Dave, I'll hopefully get you to do those while I load up the next session, because we're heading straight across the interview. We're heading across the gold again, so I've got to go load up the next session. But good, interesting race. Will we see that many safety cars in gold? That's the big question. Or will they keep it together? They tend to keep it together, but you just never know.
I thought Silver did a really good event tonight. You know, not a lot of accidents like last week. Really good racing out there. Good to see Guy Leach got himself back up into the top 10.
Yeah, he did well after that incident. But take nothing away. Dylan O'Shea will celebrate. We'll put a bit of music on. We'll go across and get the results from iRacing as soon as they're made available, and then we'll start heading across to the gold server. You're live on RaceKraft TV for F3A, powered by FRG. Big thanks, Dave Roberts. We'll have the interviews shortly, and I tell you what, we've already got drivers loading in now. I can just see that Chris Mitchell's camera's just lit up. He's ready to go. Mickey's camera's lit up, ready to go as well. And yeah, this is going to be great. Gold coming up shortly. There's your race results coming up on the screen now. Thanks to iRacing, and Dylan O'Shea confirmed they're the winner by 10.6 seconds over Justin, and then Nick Schmallenberg will grab these drivers in for a chat. We've got Justin standing by. We're just waiting on our race winner, who's still smoking the tyres out there. He's going to be a little while, I would say.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
But how about we throw it to P2 first of all. Justin, congratulations, mate, up 4 spots. You've got to be happy with that on the podium.
Yeah, mate, considering I was a lap down on at the end of lap 5 as well.
It's a fantastic job. And what were the conditions like out there? What inspiration or tips do you have for the gold session that's about to run their race?
Look after the tyres for sure. It's slippery. We had a few safety cars, so the tyres would have cooled out, but it was still very slick.
So there's a little bit of road temperature out there, you think?
Yeah. And just these things, if you're on it, they abuse the tyres, I think, as well.
Yeah, last week we had a couple of guys do a tyre change at the pit stop as well. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone does that in gold this week.
Yeah, longer race might nearly be an advantage. Yeah.
So I think leaders, lost it. He's just doing donuts.
Well, we've got Nick here. Congratulations on the podium, Nick. 3rd place tonight for JWM. Congratulations.
No, thank you very much. It was unexpected.
Talk us through your race, because you made up 16 spots, so you saw a few overtakes tonight.
Yeah, very wild. Did a lot of crash avoidance. The racing gods, I guess, were looking on me for once, and I got through the pack opposed to being part of it, so it was good. Just
saw our race winner blow his engine then, so he'll be in shortly. Here he is now, but yeah, we'll come back to you for some thank yous, Nick, but we'll throw it over to Dave to interview your race winner tonight, Dylan O'Shea.
Dylan, congratulations on a great win. Looked like you're having a lot of fun there, doing a few donuts.
Thank you. Yeah. Love me a donut. It was a good race. I haven't driven these cars in quite a while, actually. I honestly don't even remember when the last time I've driven these cars. And last night, with 4 minutes left in the pre-qual, I decided to have a go tonight, and yeah, really enjoyed it tonight.
So will we see you back for a few more rounds now, maybe?
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot about this series, to be honest. And last week on, I remember Tuesday night, I saw it was on, and I'm like, oh bummer, can't do it because I didn't pre-qual on the Monday. So yeah, last night I only just flicked past it in the league sessions and saw I had 4 minutes to have a dip. Too bad I didn't make it into gold. I think
Well, next week you'll be in gold because you get that as a result of winning. You still have to pre-qualify, but you'll get an automatic start in gold.
Oh.
So there we go. You'll have to be
Even
back
better.
next week.
yeah.
So sponsors, anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, just like to thank you guys, Race Stars TV, for putting on the broadcast. It's always good to have a watch back on the races, and also to Roo and all the team at F3A for putting this series together. And the team sponsors, Simrigs, Phoenix Smokers, NP Designs, Bemax Mechanical, and Southwell Listen Hoist. Thank you.
Great. Thanks again, Dylan. Great drive tonight. Congratulations. Justin, back to you. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Yeah, firstly, you guys, the league, and we've got RaceKraft, Jinx Shifters, JRT, and Ingrams. So, yeah, thanks to those guys.
And we'll see you in gold next week too.
Yep, look forward to it. Thank you very
Awesome.
much, guys.
Nicholas, anybody you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, just thank the JWM boys for letting me race with them, the TM Engineering sponsor, boys, the team. Thanks for Wade, our team leader, with the sweet livery. I think it looks awesome this year. And thanks to you guys for the league and the broadcast. And just shout out to the JWM, 3 top 10s.
Yeah, awesome. Great drive tonight. And Luke and I have both voted your livery one of our favourites. It really does look great out there on the road. So congratulations again. We'll see you in gold next week as well. Don't forget to pre-qualify. And
Thank you very much.
we'll take a break and be back with you in a minute for the goal.
Thanks.
Right, welcome back for part 2 of the evening, folks. Thanks to RaceKraft Simulator. It is round number 4 of the Australian Formula 3 E-Series powered by FRG. Welcome Dave Roberts to the com booth again tonight for the big one now. 50-minute race, pit stop required, and some pretty quick times. We're seeing them into the low 1 minute 14s here at the end of qualifying. We'll take you down to the track now with some times up on the screen. About 4 minutes to go. Roberts leading by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, Ben Roberts being the class of the field there in qualifying with a good 0.3, a long way around here. If you look at the next 0.3, covers you back to
wow.
14.
17.
Yeah, gets you back to about 15th or 16th.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, so
that's a big lead in this company as well. And Alex caught there up in second. Really nice qualifying from him. Somebody hanging off the side of the road there.
Rubok once again absolutely flying, and Kieran Ellis, who we spoke about before, 13th place at the moment. Kieran, the young gun, the young fella from RaceKraft. There's access to his camera tonight, and one of many RaceKraft simulator cars out there tonight. On Tiago, one of his teammates at the moment as well, P12, and just looking to see where our favourite, one of our favourites, Chris Mitchell, back in 15th place at the moment. And there he is, just trying to get a bit of form. He was doing well last week, a bit of bad luck creeps in here and there this season so far. He needs that consistency. He's up in 15th and just struggling to find a bit of time as someone takes the cone for a joyride.
There's another interesting driver there, Greg Favell in 9th, who's one of the really quick guys in V8s again, jumping into an F3 and doing a superb job.
Yeah, Favell was raced in the Pro Series and doing a great job there as well, really mixing it with the big guys in the V8s, and then to jump in something completely different. The F3 car is pretty cool.
And Magic Mickey sitting there 29th at the moment, so he'll be a bit disappointed with that, I would think.
Yeah, they're doing a great job once again tonight, but you know, you're 29th. It's only early though. Mickey will find the form. You know, qualified for this gold with another great performance last week, and you know, give it time. We'll see. We see Mickey Rice at the top. That's just a given, really, these days.
Well, he's been around enough. He knows how this works, and it's 50 minutes of racing. You don't have to lead on lap 1.
Right, Greg Favell P9, Bailey Evans P8, Will Ryan inside the top 10 as well, 7th place in that Pace Syndicate Deadhead liveried car. Very bright coloured, beautiful looking car out there. So P7. And I'm looking at Jack Marrow, who's a bit of a crowd favourite too, with the barbecue chips on the side of that car. Looking good too, P5 for DSR.
Yeah, the barbecue boys.
Yeah, the chip boys doing well. Rob Bowden, good to see him up there in the top 2 as well. Now within a 10th of Roberts, so he's closed the margin. Tanked SRT driver.
Yeah, Rob's another real F3 stalwart and fantastically quick. I know he did really well in the Motorsport Australia series. Very fast in an F3 car.
Will be accustomed to then racing against Ben Roberts as well. So 50 seconds to go in quali. They will get to finish the lap they're on. Roberts is just starting a lap now. We'll get one more shot of that because Rob Bowden's come into the pits, so that's qualifying run and done for Rob. Alex still out on the racetrack. We'll do another lap from P3. We'll just keep an eye on the sector times here. No one's really lighting up any purples bottom of your screen. Chris Mitchell has done well, it's all yellows except for the final sector and doesn't even get within 0.5 of his best time. Anthony Jules gone green, but then yellow. So we're not seeing anything that really represents this track improving at this late stage of quali.
Risa Gorman sitting there in 5th and Jack Mara in 6th. Zaney in 7th. They're stalwarts always at the front, always there, always competitive, so making up that front of the field.
Yeah, checker flags dropped, so they'll finish the lap they're on now. Craig Anspach, who we're looking at now, another of the tanked cars, sitting back in 32nd. Wouldn't take much to jump up a few places here. It's pretty close. If you got maybe a 10th or 2, you would jump up about 6 or 7 positions. If you're sitting in 10th place, which Greg Favell is, he's within 0.5 of the top time, so even a couple of tenths there would take him up into the top 5, which would be fantastic. But The only one I can see lighting up greens is Michael Fabian right now. And Fabian, where is he in the order there?
He was
right.
quick in pre-quali.
Yeah, and he hasn't set a time yet, so this will be for a qualifying time. He goes all greens, only goes 37th with that, so I got all excited for nothing.
Yeah, I see Giuliano Sinisi's down in, what's he, in 36th as well. I mean, Julian should be a top 6, top 8 guy, so they must have had some issues in qualifying.
Yeah, we're going to quickly butt in with the RaceKraft guys and just quickly say, oh, no, we can't. Oh, can I? Can they hear me? You know what? They can't hear me because I'm actually talking to them on a different...
Oh, correct.
I was actually talking to them on my other Discord. And I just, for a second there, thought, oh my God, they can't hear me. And we're listening to them. Anything could be said. So we won't go there. Right, that's it. I think everyone's back in the pits. Scotty still out there. He's just cruising around. And I've still
So Ben Roberts and Rob Bowden off the front row. Very fast front row.
It is, yeah. 1/10 covers them. No one else improving now. We are running done. We'll head down to the grid shortly. Big slide there for Scott. And with that, the checker flag drops, and it is time to go racing here for this 50-minute, 1 pit stop required race for F3A gold tonight. Who's going to win this one? Can Ben Roberts scrape a win tonight? Will it be Rob Bowden? Will someone come from outside the top 10? We'll know shortly. Let's take you down to the grid now. This is how they will line up. Front row, Roberts and Bowden. Court and Butler off the second row. O'Gorman will start from 5th alongside his teammate, Jack Mara. So good to see those two next to each other. 5 and 6. Then it's Zanny and Ryan, Evans and Favell rounding out your top 10. Mazoka starts from 11th tonight with Rewalt in 12th place next to him. 13th is Diego with Kieran Ellis from RaceKraft in 14th place. Then it's Barnes and Mitchell 16th. Still a long way back there for Chris Mitchell. Marcus Kaniska starts tonight from 17th on the grid with Scotty B down there. Then Blackburn and Gardner, Nikoloff and Nix in your top 22. Ben Brazier, is that how you say it? I know he said Brazier. It's Brazier. Help me, Dave. 23rd on the grid. Brazier, that's it, yeah. Newton out of 24. And then we've got 25th place. Full field of cars once again tonight. Hardy and Clayton, Arthur and Patrol down there in 28th place. Ribbox starts from 29th. Elevated up here into gold tonight. Mabry will start from 30th. And it's Jewel and Anspatch, Cooper, McLaughlin, Steen and Sanisi down in 36th place on the grid. 37th is Fabian Lizelle. And it's a Green Tree, Lockie Capel once again in the safety car, and Dave Clements back of his field. Righto. That beautiful sight with them all curved around the start again. How will this one play out?
Rue's just giving them their race brief on the grid.
Let's listen into this because he's just describing that.
I've had a few people querying this. It's when I say green, 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 in the event of a communications failure, it will revert to the start-finish line. Just be nice.
There you go. So that's what everyone's been getting confused about. So
what he's saying there is, if he says green, 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 it means you can pass from that moment. But in the events of a communications failure, where, for instance, nobody can hear Rue, or the audio goes, then it is from the start-finish line.
There's a shot at the grid. We're just waiting for a couple of drivers to still load on.
It's a very short, straight grid, and then it's a big lots of corners. It's funny to look back and see the guy pointing to the right there at the back of the grid.
Yeah. Yeah, now there is a gap there at about the 8th or 9th row, I think. Or is that just the perspective I'm looking at?
It might be somebody just laid onto the grid.
No, they're all on there according to my timing screen. So we're just waiting now for starters' orders. We've got safety car standing by at the back for if there's any issues. The sun just comes out as well. That's a nice little touch.
Yeah, and a major issue here, we've just had Mickey say his mum's watching.
Hello, Mum. Alright, so long hold. We're over 3 minutes now. The revs should rise shortly. And we are getting set to go. Watch the front row. As always, watch for people trying to make some opportunistic moves here off the start. We'll get a green light. We'll get underway for the gold race. Good start. Green light on. Green flag waving. And nice start at the front. Pretty clean. Everyone getting through so far as they sweep through turn 1. Roberts leads from Bowden in the background. 2 wide with Zanny. 3 wide in the background as well as they come out of there. Favell drops a couple of positions, but Roberts out in front. Perfect getaway a challenge. Riso Gorman sneaks around the outside. He's got his teammate in tow, trying to go right around the outside of Butler here and may even pull this move off on the opening lap. You've got to be patient, let the tyres come on song. But some of these drivers just can't help themselves. Good start up front.
What driver can help themselves? Ben Robertson, the machine cult Dallara, running away at the front there. Got a beautiful start and trying to make that little break. But I think Rob's going to go with him tonight.
Yeah, too wide. Look at this, 2x2 back in the pack. It's the RaceKraft cars side by side. Kieran Ellis and Christopher Mitchell just behind him.
Just doing photo ops.
Yeah, they'll go back and jump in the replay for some photo opportunities later on. But you got to tiptoe when you got your teammate next to you on the opening lap of a race with cold tyres. That must be nerve-wracking.
Again, they've had a really, really good opening lap here, Luke.
Yeah, I don't want to put the... I'm not saying anything because I'm the one I think that's creating all these incidents tonight.
It's all your fault.
It is all my fault. Lap 2 as Roberts leads us across the line. Does a 121 from a standing start. We're going to see that greatly reduced. Will we see them duck into the 13s in race trim tonight? We saw some 14s in...
I reckon they can. He did low 14s in qualifying.
Yeah.
With low fuel and a bit of a tow in the right place. I reckon 13s are on.
Side by side again, Zanny and Mara. Oh, they almost touched wheels.
Oh. Just showing great respect to each other there.
Yeah.
And enjoying it. I bet they've both got a grin on their face.
Yeah, yep. Side by side now. Look at the head bobbling around here, buffering in the wind as the 69 car is about to get overtaken under brakes around the outside. Jack, can he make it stick?
And Jack's got position for the next one.
Yeah, good overtake, great overtake. Oh, almost gets a bump. Oh, wow. Zanny somehow hang on to that. That almost went around on him.
That's awesome racing.
Great to see the cars moving around like that too. He's driving the absolute wheels off. That probably needs to just sit back now and wait half a lap. Just let the tyres come in,
Still waiting for the tyres to come in. It'll be probably halfway through this next lap when they've actually got proper temperature in the tyres.
Race leader, he's 7/10 clear already. As you said, Bowden's going with him. There's a gap back to court now in third. And behind them, Butler chasing with Riso Gorman. Let's jump on board with him as he goes through turn 1.
So he's pushing a little bit at the front. He's got a bit of front push on it, and the aero's not helping that as well. He's right on the tail here of yes, it's close.
Yeah, Reese thought better of it there. He was thinking about going down the inside, which then becomes the outside. He's just trying to bide his time here for a move. You've got to be so careful not to make contact. If you unload that car in front, you're going to spin him. You're going to get yourself a penalty.
And that corner off the end of the back straight, it's sort of better to do an outside move because you can carry road speed with the wider line, which you can't carry down the inside. So very hard to outbrake down the inside, but you can sweep around the outside, as we saw in the previous race. Lap
2 was a 1:15.5 for Roberts. Let's see what he does this time around as he starts to extend that lead just slightly. That was a 15.0, so just warming it up here, winding the clock back. And just settling into a groove is Ben Roberts in the background. Let's go further back to a train of cars. Scotty B behind him, Tyler Blackburn, Nikoloff, Gardner, Newton. We've got a spinner. Kieran Ellis has gone around. And there he is off the racetrack. So he's just coming back on now, shaking his head.
Straight. He's all right.
There's got a bit of damage on the left-hand side, maybe.
He's not all over yet. Long way to go.
Yeah, saw him shaking his head on the camera. But he's got it back in check now. Dropped down a lot of positions though, 33rd place, make that, well, someone else just fell back a few more places, but yeah, way down the order now, 17 places considering Ellis was alongside Christopher Mitchell up in 12th place only a couple of corners ago. That's a big loss.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of issue with the car because he's not really contesting these positions, although he's fighting for them.
Yeah, Bailey Evans held position so far, P9. James Rewalt, another of the Pace Syndicate drivers, currently 10th
Bailey,
up 2 spots.
Bailey, the winner of our opening round. So, and he wasn't in contention early on there either. So, yeah, you never know.
True, and
can you pull a second one?
Yeah, and we just saw a 14. Oh, there's cones flying everywhere in the background.
Cones going everywhere. Yep. Who's that?
Yeah, Roberts just does a 14, so he's already turning the wick up here. We'll just try and get this to focus in.
Yeah.
There we go.
The out of focus looks so cool.
Oh, we got a spinner. We got a spinner. Is that Ellis again?
It looks.
I think that's the same corner again for Ellis. It was too.
39, Kieran Ellis. Yes.
Yeah, so he's gone around again in
He
exactly
just
the
wanted
same
to make sure he
spot.
got it right this time. He's practicing.
Yeah. So here's the DSR boys racing together here. Chucked in behind Jesse Butler as well for Mark 1 Esports P4. So it's a nice little train of cars. I wonder if Jesse is a bit of a cork in the bottle here though. Oh, see the snap then for Jack Mara. He somehow hung onto that, but he lost a position or two with that. He drops back to 7th, but that was a huge moment for Jack.
So these cars, you push them past their limit, they'll step sideways. You can get them back, but you lose momentum.
So check this out. There's the point, I think. He gets that big snap there.
Yes, that little apex got a little bit wide, cars got sideways, and all the momentum just goes out of the car.
Get another shot of it there. There it was. Yeah, and loses the position. So, yeah.
Nearly 2.
Back live now. So there's a big train of cars from 8th down, and then if you get right back down to 25th place, same thing. Huge train of cars. You go to the overhead shot, you can just see in the background there's
Sinise in the red car.
Yeah.
Somebody up the outside of him, so...
Hardy's there as well. Nixon just tucked in behind. Car off the track as well. That was Connor Nixon having a wild moment there, and Anspatch gets through down the inside. Wazell as well was the other car that snuck through with that little mistake.
Connor originally trying to go around the outside of Sinise there. You know, quite often when you go to make a pass, if it doesn't come off right, you end up losing places.
Look at the chops there on Chris Wazell's photo too. Some good chops in that picture. Righto, yeah. Cars spewing off on different parts of the track at this moment. And I love the Century Batteries entry there. By the way, let's...
Race control, car 10.
And Spatch on the radio to race control. Is this a car off the track? I think it is. He's backwards.
Yeah.
And Kieran Ellis down there as well. I thought he was involved in that, but he wasn't.
Difficult little corner there because it leads up into Thunder Valley. Oh, there is someone else on the left-hand side. Is that Mickey?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, they've gone off the track there as well, and they've beached
like
that
he's
car.
Broken the right rear suspension to me.
Car's beached, is it? Yeah, it has broken the right rear. It's lifting up in the air. So that could be a safety car in that position, would you think?
Oh, I don't know. He's off the road.
Mabry's off as well.
Another one's off.
Yeah, Mabry's off as well, so...
They're starting to push a little bit, and they're just pushing the limits, and the cars are biting back. So we see, I'm looking at the front there, Luke, and Rob Bowden's still he's only 8/10 off the back of Ben, so he's hanging on to him, but what he's doing is he's staying back in clean air, trying to keep his tyres fresh, because remember we heard the guys in Silver say the tyres were getting a bit sketchy towards the end. So I reckon Rob's sitting back off him, so he's got full aero on the car, trying to look after his tyres and stay in touch.
Let's ride on board for a lap here and just watch Rob Bowden and see how he's treating these tyres.
It'd be interesting to see when they come into the pits for a stop. If we see the cars go up off the ground, it means they're taking tyres. If they don't lift the car up, they're doing fuel only. So we can watch that in the stops and see who's taking tyres and who hasn't.
Different line into the corner there as well. He really V'd that corner.
Yeah, squared it off, got the rotation in the middle, and then accelerated that. Try and keep the car straight. Get as straight an exit as he can.
So unfortunately, Mickey...
Safety car.
Yeah, we've got a safety car. Cause they're still
Safety
stuck
car.
down there, cannot move that car. So unfortunately, that's going to be a tow for Mickey back to the pit lane. And this is going to close the field up. Is it too early for someone to sneak into the pits? Is it too early now, 10 minutes out of 50, to jump in for a stop?
Look, you'd be gambling on more safety cars. It's probably a little early.
Let's see if anyone tries it though. Well, they're in at the front. Roberts is in. So's Bowden.
I think they're going to make it.
Court's in as well. Butler's...
See if they take tyres, Luke.
Okay, let's stay on board then with Roberts and we'll have a look.
225, you can go past.
That car behind was in the air.
Yep. Now we can watch here. Now,
Bowden's in the air.
Rob Bowden's taken tyres.
I don't think Roberts did. Yeah, Roberts stayed down.
Rob Bowden did. And see, he's dropped about 2 seconds. That's all he lost to get new tyres. I think Rob Bowden's making a really smart move here.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with over 40 minutes, well, 39 minutes to go.
39 minutes to go. A long way around here. He's got fresh tyres. Ben Roberts hasn't. Can he take it to Ben with the fresh tyres? Be great to watch.
Everyone on the lead lap, please stay left. Lead lap, please stay left. Lap traffic, we're now on lap themselves. Lap traffic, we're now on lap themselves.
So currently we have Butler leading the field.
We do. Jesse Butler, yeah, and we've got a comment there. Tyson says, really cool to have Dave in the comm box tonight. It's great to have Dave here. And Damien Can says, good luck to Greg on his first F3 race. Go Taipan. Kurt as well says, let's go tanked SRT. Good to have some people chiming in there over on Facebook. And
so we're seeing the wave go by now too, Luke.
Sorry?
We're seeing the wave bys, the lap cars being waved by the safety car. That's those fast cars running down the outside there.
Yep. Beautiful FRG safety car out on the track as well, driven again tonight by Lockie Capel. He's had a bit of, he's had a few laps tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's probably done more laps than some of the guys out there in the race. So I think this would be probably the first time that Jesse's actually led us back to a restart. So this will be something new for him.
Yeah, nerves, I reckon. It's a nervous moment.
Car 349, please hold speed no more than 60 kilometres an hour.
Alex Zani behind him and Will Ryan in third there on the road. None of these guys have stopped.
Yeah, Roberts is the first driver that has stopped back in 10th
And he's
place.
still in the top 10.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very good early strategic stop under safety car. So he got in, as I was saying before the cars bunched up and he lost too much road position. So that's really good. And Bowden's only 3 cars behind him. So you've got Konitska and who's
Car
GAR?
349, you now control the speed. You may accelerate at your discretion.
Gardner. I think that's Gardner in between. So it's Konitska and Gardner in between Bowden and Roberts. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there and whether Rob can get himself past those couple of cars and back onto the back of Ben Roberts.
Yep, here's the restart. So we're back to green flag racing and Jesse leads us away. We've been asked for a replay of Mickey's spin. I'll get that happening shortly for you. But yeah, restart. Let's just watch how this pans out. Who's going to...
Great restart from Jesse.
Yeah, look at the speed of them flying through turn 1. I love turn 1. It's so quick here. And Roberts already.
That's a real commitment because you run wide and you're in big trouble.
Yeah, so there's Roberts P10. There's Jesse Butler leading this down the back straight for the first time. Gap 4/10 at the front. The top 10 covered by just on 3.9 seconds. And James Rewalt.
On the track there from Rewalt.
Yeah, you saw the nose poke out, didn't you? And then he tucked it back in again.
And their teammates both running the deadhead liveries in different colours, but both deadhead liveries.
Yeah, very cool.
I do like those deadhead liveries. They look really cool.
Get a quick replay, I think, of the Mickey spin, just for the fans that are requesting that. Get that for you shortly. This was it here, just really quickly, and then we'll flick back to live. This one's for Marigold. Just get up on the curb, maybe. I reckon it's going to be another one of these F3
double right-hander.
Oh no, there was contact with the car.
He's a little tap. So he's tapped whoever that was in front of him, one of the tanked SRT cars.
Yeah, a bit of contact there. So
I'm going to suggest that Mickey's probably going to get a drive-through out of that as well.
5, lap 10.
Sinisi's in trouble here. I just heard.
Car 5.
Copy 5.
Yeah, and Sinisi's in the pit lane, so into the pits now. I wonder if there was some damage, and that's why it's been a green flag pit stop. Is the back end a bit bent on that car?
Car looks... Oh no, the wing's bent.
The wing's definitely bent. Yeah,
Yep.
There it is. It's skew-if.
See if he takes tyres. Yep. Tyres are going on. Car's in the air.
All right, let's have a look back at the race lead. So Jesse's still leading this one. The gap you can see, 0.2 of a second. The RaceKraft entry of Alex Zani all over the back of this Mark 1 Esport car right now. And Will Ryan also just hanging on there within, well, a second now of the top 2 for Pace Syndicate. We've got 2 Pace Syndicates in the top 4, so great to see their team having a great performance. And it is a team, there's a massive team aspect to this series, which I absolutely love. It's not just a solo get out there and race. These guys do work together. They work on their racecraft. They get out there and practice throughout the week. And that's why I love when you start to see teams clumping together and moving towards the top of the times.
Yeah, so each team, there's 3 drivers, 3 cars in each team, and yet you'll see a load of RaceKraft cars, but the different colours of different teams. So there's RaceKraft Gold, there's RaceKraft Blue, and RaceKraft Purple, and then you've got a couple of the tanked SRT teams and whatever. But 3 cars per team, and that's maximum. You can have 2, but you're not going to score very well if you only got 2 out of 3. How's our new V8 debutante going?
30th at the moment. Has stopped on lap 8. 8 seconds worth of fuel.
Right. Be worth watching. I don't think his day's done yet. He's had plenty of speed.
Yeah, and considering that out of the top 17, only 2 of them have stopped for fuel, there's going to be a lot of changes still in this order as the night goes on. And we've got just on 34 minutes to go still in this race. A long way to go.
Now, it looks like Ben Roberts has been able to take get his way past Barton, but Bowden's still stuck back behind Gardner. So there's now 3 cars between those 2 leaders, or what do you call it when we consider pit stops?
Do you think Roberts is aware that Bowden took tyres in that pit stop?
He probably is, because he probably saw the car go up in the mirrors. But yeah, once it's happened and you've seen it, it's too late. You can't go, I'll take tyres too.
Because I wonder if that changes the way he then races now for the next half hour and just tries to really hold back.
Yeah, interesting to see. But I see Robert drop back quite a bit off the 3 cars in between. So you've got, Rob back a second and a half off the back of Gardner. So again, I wonder whether he's just looking after the car a bit.
That's what I'm thinking. I reckon he's well aware that this is going to be a battle of trying to just hold these tyres together to the end of this race.
So Barnes and Macedo here having a great little tussle, swapping places. Another one of the RaceKraft Gold guys. And again, another tanked SRT. They seem to be fighting each other pretty well tonight.
Right.
And now we've got Ben Roberts onto the back of them.
Yep.
So now how much risk will Ben take to get past?
Had a look. I love that little look where they dance out from the slipstream and then tuck back in again.
He's just putting the nose in the mirror to say, hey, I'm on your tail.
Oh, someone went wide there. That's McLaughlin. View's off the track, back on, so just lost about 5 or 6 positions, but no harm there to other drivers. Back at the front, still 6/10 between Zanny and Butler.
Yeah, not a lot of safety cars so far.
Well, you've jinxed us now.
Well, Roberts and Barnes swapping positions there, so Ben's got Barnes, and now he's up into 8th place. So now there's 4 cars, is it? 4 cars between him and Rob Bowden. So he's really putting that traffic in the middle of them, and that's going to make his race.
Yeah, I think Bowden's playing the long game here, though. Look at the way the attitude of that car. Yeah. The last lap was a 15-1. Roberts did a similar lap time, but not getting up behind the car, not really engaging in the battle. He knows that all these cars in front have to stop again, except for Roberts, and he knows that he's got the fresh set of boots. Yeah, he's got a fresh set of boots on board.
So you get those 3 guys going to the pits. We get a safety car out. Rob Bowden's right on the back of Ben Roberts, and he's got fresher tyres.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's playing a smart game. And you can see he's looking after the car. You're not seeing it get sideways. You're not seeing it up over the curbs. He's driving well within himself there.
Got a spinner down there. Yeah, Nikoloff's gone around at turn 2 or turn 3, is it? Yeah, so he's just the weeds.
Is that the exit of the keyhole?
It is, yeah. No damage on the car.
Tree-minded.
After dark sim racing, yeah. So no damage on the car. Continues on just
We're
loses
looking for a tree.
little bit of pride. Another car
So
off
there's-
the track though, Tiago. That's
Yeah, and-
very hard to get back on the circuit. There is quite a bump there. Done the right thing though. Stayed to the left, and now we'll rejoin top of the hill.
Awkward place to rejoin. And see, Alex Zaney's now grabbed the lead off Butler too in the last lap or so, and is trying to pull a gap.
Yes, the top 10 now at 7 seconds. That field spread will probably be the only thing that Rob Bowden's aware of, although you would expect in the next 30 minutes we will get another safety car, but Bowden he won't want to see that field spread get to 15, 20, 30 seconds if it continues on like this.
If there is a safety car, what are the three guys in front of him going to do? Jump straight in the pits. So he's going to be on. If there's a safety car, he's right on the back of Ben Roberts.
Mitchell here, we're having a quick look at. We've got
Chris has been a bit quiet tonight. Where is he up to?
Very quiet.
36.
Yeah, but we've got his race cam here and just chipping away. Hasn't stopped as yet, but made up 10 positions. And considering 2 of those have stopped, that's a pretty good effort. So up 10 spots into the top 6.
50 minutes around here. There is no respite. There's nowhere to rest around here. It is all action, corners, over brows, jumping curbs, and it is full on. There's nowhere to go. Oh, I could just take a breather on this straight. You can't do it. Even the straight's not straight.
Great sweep through turn 1. So Mitchell, look at concentration. You still see the chatter though. He's talking to his teammates. They're probably talking strategy. They're thinking, right, we've got one guy here that's stopped in this mix. What's the choice? Do we stop at the first sign of a safety car? Do we do a green flag stop and just risk it all?
Yeah, they will be sweating for a safety car. Maybe they'll be calling for their teammate to cause one.
Flavio in the house.
Nelson, was it Nelson Piquet Jr.?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right, here's Green Tree back in the field with Tyler Blackburn. Also up ahead of them, Rhys O'Gorman, sorry, who's stopped on lap 8, is slowly chipping his way back towards something competitive here. So remember, if you take all the cars out of the equation that have not stopped, that puts O'Gorman in 4th place. So he's got Bailey Evans in front of him. He's stopped, and then 2 more, which is Rob Bowden and Ben Roberts. So you're talking the top 16, 4 of those cars have stopped. The other 12 are yet to go to the pit lane. There's O'Gorman now. Alex caught behind him, and then McLaughlin, Blackburn, Green Tree. That's your top 20.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. They're all sitting there waiting for the race to come to them and for the race to evolve. And that's going to be evolve. Either they're going to have to pit, or a safety car is going to come out, or there's an accident. There's something that stirs this race back up again. At the moment, everyone's just holding pattern.
Yeah, look at those lap times. The top 2 have just been yo-yoing here. They're sort of 1/10 in the favour of Butler, and then it will go back the other way in the favour of Zanny, and then back another couple of tenths in the favour of Butler there. That gap is just staying as is. And
yep.
Jesse, I don't know if Jesse's got the pace to get through. The ultimate lap time is about a tenth quicker in the favour of Alec at the moment. And considering Alec's out in front, that's pretty decent, because Jesse will be getting quite a decent tow off the back of this car.
And then Anthony Marzocca's there in 5th. Anthony's a long-term F3A driver, and again, always puts in a really good, strong run. Usually at the front there, somewhere in that hop half dozen, and on his day he can be as fast as anybody.
Yeah, half race distance here, 27. Like you say, I love that livery too. It's something about it. It's very just simplistic. Is that a word?
Clean. It looks great on a racetrack.
Yeah, minimalist, but it just pops. It looks really nice.
It does stand out. Really does stand out. A bit old school in some ways, hey?
Yeah, I think that's what I like about it.
I'm old school, so I like old school.
There's a good chance, Dave. I know you don't like blowing your own trumpet, but mate, for the viewers out there's a few people watching at the moment. Tell us your massive experience with yourself doing F3 and all that sort of thing. Tell us about your career.
Real world, so yeah, Formula Ford in Australia.
Formula Ford, of course, with the championship. What year was that?
Yeah,
88.
88. So
88
up against Russell Ingall and Mark Larkham.
Mate.
So that was a great time, fantastic time. Finished that, went to the UK, did the World Cup at Brands Hatch, drove against Michael Schumacher at the World Cup, and Mecca Salo. That year was won by Vincenzo Sospiri. We were doing really well. Had a 40-cent nipple come off the end of a throttle cable and ruined our weekend.
Incredible.
But, yeah, those things happen. And then I just walked away from it. And I walked away from it for 28 years. And we went and bought a historic Formula Ford. I went down to a historic meeting with my brother-in-law, and on the plane back he said, we need to buy one of those. And so we went and bought one. Took it out at Phillip Island 28 years afterwards, and I did about 10 laps after we finished building it, and it was at the Phillip Island, the big historic meeting there, 56 Formula Fords on the grid, and we put a P3. So after 28 years, so that was pretty cool. I didn't do a lot else. I did a bit of time in the UK and drove a bit of FF2000, and I've driven some Australian Formula 2 cars, and I drove Paul Morris's old Gemini after the Formula Ford Championship. Paul sort of was going into Formula Ford and said, yeah, I gave him a bit of a hand, and he entered me in the Gemini, and well, we never got to. Put it on pole, but we never got to race it because we had a torrential downpour and a flood, so that finished that weekend. And now I had the historic Formula Ford, and with my brother-in-law, unfortunately, he's suffering pretty badly from some early onset Alzheimer's now, and we sort of just went, it time's up, so we've got rid of that again. I was supposed to be going to the UK to spend a bit of time with a mate in the UK and have a bit of fun at Silverstone in a new 992 Super Cup car for a day or two, and a Cayman GT4, but all that got cancelled when I ended up in hospital last week, so unfortunately. So, but we'll go and do that next time, and we might yet have another run at the Walter Hayes Trophy of the Formula Ford World Cup in the UK. Cause I've got a lot of friends all over the world now.
Yeah, and with all your experience in the Formula Ford, what's the main difference? I know that he's got more, wings and downforce. How much more power would a Formula 3 car have over a Formula 4 car?
A fair bit more power, but it's not so much the power, it's the grip level that you get out of an F3 car. I've driven an F3 car in the UK, and it's incredible amount of grip compared to a Formula Ford. The beautiful thing about a Formula Ford is it allows you to understand the mechanics of a race car. So you learn the mechanics of the race car, what a shock absorber does, what a spring rate change does, what a roll bar change does, without the interference of aerodynamics. So if you can understand the mechanicals of the car, and then you step on into a wing car and you learn the aerodynamics, adding the aerodynamics to that, then you've got the full knowledge of a race car. And I think that's what's happening now, is the guys are coming out of karts and they're jumping into a wing car, but what they're not doing is spending that year learning what the mechanical grip is available and how you can alter that in a race car. And it's the thing missing in the ladder at the moment, is that mechanical knowledge of a race car. And they jump in and think, I want to go faster, I want to put more wing on, or less wing on. It's not all about wings.
Yeah, right. That's great knowledge, that, because something I hadn't thought about. And you come out of a go-kart, obviously, you feed into something bigger, but go-kart, you're just relying on a car that isn't really sprung, right? It's just your tyre pressures is going to be the only difference for you.
There's tyre pressures, there's flexing the axles and chassis and all sorts of things in go-karts, but although it's the same, it's not. You don't adjust it the same way as you do with a race car. The other thing is a go-kart's a really, really lightweight thing that changes direction really quickly. The other thing you've got to get used to when you get into a race car is it's physically a very heavy thing. So when you try and change direction, it's not like a go-kart. You're trying to change direction on something that weighs 400 kilograms.
Yeah.
It's completely different. You've got to understand the momentum that a car has. So when you turn into a corner, it doesn't necessarily go to the apex. It tries to put you in the fence on the outside. But the go-kart guys, that's what they need to learn: shocks, springs, roll bars, angle of attack, ride heights, raising ride heights front and rear, things like anti-droop front suspension, so you take out so that when the car gets light on the way out of a corner, it doesn't lift the nose and understeer. We used to run anti-droop, so the cars had no. If you lift the car up on a jack, the wheels didn't drop down; they just stayed where they were.
Yeah.
That's so all that stuff needs to be learnt before you get in a car with wings, because wings upsets everything. It's like the cheap man's way of fixing a race car is you dial a bit more front wing on. If you don't need to dial that wing on and you can get the grip out of it mechanically, means you're faster in a straight, makes all the difference.
We've got a big crash here. We've just got 3 or 4 cars involved in this. Could be a safety car. Yeah, and there's a car in absolute pieces. That's not Greg Favell, is it? Is that Greg Favell? Greg Favell is one of them, broken front suspension. Might be Alex Court, the one that's in big trouble there, and there's parts of race car all over the track down there, so...
this will be a safety car. We've got a safety car.
Yeah.
So here now, the race comes alive again.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at this, because that's a big impact for Alex Court.
Mate, there's wheels everywhere there. Are they all his wheels?
I think so. Here we go. Here's a replay. So we'll get a close-up shot. He had all the wheels on at this point. He's all by himself, so is there going to be a third party involved in this? No, lost the back end. I think someone's going to T-bone him here.
He's lost it right on the brow.
Oh, there's
bang.
one hit. There's another, and there's the big one.
These guys are committed to that corner. There's no way you can bail out.
Yeah, is that where iRacing could do something better with yellow flags, or are they ignoring a yellow flag? Does it do a yellow flag in iRacing for that sort of incident?
The thing is, they're banking on, you don't want to lift off too much. And a yellow flag, we used to always say, put your hand in the air and your foot to the floor, and try and gain as much as you can.
Yeah. So here's the onboard of it. So lost the back end, and then watch this.
And then he's a sitting duck.
Oh, there's the first hit. Here comes the big one. There's Favell.
Try to reverse and just get out of there as fast as possible. But the guy's committed to that corner. You can't in the middle of that corner just jump on the brakes, because the car spins and you're going to nail him. If you lift off, you've lost it.
Well, here's Favell's point of view. We might just jump on if I can find his car quickly. So this is what he would have seen. So let's go visor cam and just watch how quickly this comes up for you.
So you can't see anything at all. Track's clear. Oh shit, there's a car.
Yeah, big hit as well, so...
Yeah.
Like
That's
to say,
unfortunate.
blind corner. And
So
4 or
where are we
5
at
cars.
now? Pit stops.
So Roberts and Bowden leading this one. We're back
Here we go.
back
And now
live.
we have Rob Bowden right on the back of Benjamin Roberts, and let's remember, he's got tyres that are a good 10 laps fresher.
Joe says, what happened to Will Ryan? Can we see a replay?
Everyone needs the token now too.
Well, Will's still in 8th place. I've got him at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just picking up if he was involved in... No, he was alright. He just pitted, that's all it was. That's why he changed position. They're going to do wave rounds now, but what, with 16 minutes to go, and it's going to be a fair bit less than that once we go green. It'll probably be about 14 or 13 minutes to go in this race. This is where Rob Bowden's tyres, if he has looked after them, and remember he took a set on lap 8, Benjamin Roberts is still on the same tyres that he started the race on. How will that impact the last part of this race?
Because Mickey's doing a wave by, so he'll be... I think that'll put him back on the lead lap, will it?
Yeah, they'll be back on the lead lap. So just waiting. Listening to race control here. I think there's a few questions being thrown at Roo. So the pressure will be on Roberts here not to make a mistake off the restart.
Safety car will speed up to 120.
And
not
they're
coming
back-
in this lap. That was a
Back in
mistake.
3rd place there. Bailey Evans, our opening round winner.
Yeah, 6 spots, so stopped on lap 8 as well. So the top 3 stopped on lap 8, everyone else behind lap 24 or lap 23. So the cream has risen to the top as far as that first stop.
High race control.
A little bit of chatter going on.
I just got rear-ended.
So I think the end of this lap, the safety car's coming in. And we'll go back to green.
Yeah,
These guys are dropping some big gaps here. They'll be on their case to close up those holes.
That was Nixon just saying he's been rear-ended under safety car, which wouldn't be fun for him.
And that'll be a drive-through if they review that. That'll be a drive-through pretty much for sure. Now all these guys are looking at. So we've got everybody's pitted now. The whole front of the field is pitted.
Yep.
So it's now a straight-out duel to the finish.
How many to go?
And Mickey's, these are the guys who've done their wave by that we're seeing at the moment. Those guys are now catching up to the back of the front field, so they'll be going a bit quicker. They're still under safety car conditions, so they've got to have their wits about them, and they've got to be aware of where the field is, so they don't come ploughing in full noise into the back of the rest of the cars going slowly.
Shout out to Steve Collins saying RaceKraft on fire. Yep, they're up there, but they've got Alex Annie P5. Chris Mitchell has risen up into 6th now, so he did well to make that pit stop on lap 24, but hold position. It was a short stop.
Doing the quiet achiever tonight, Chris Mitchell, isn't he?
Yeah, so it was a short stop though. I wonder if he didn't take tyres.
Possibly. I think this is making it really interesting on the 50-lap race with the latest build of this F3 is because we're seeing that tyre degradation towards the end of the race, which is really good because it puts an element of strategy into the pit stops. Really enjoying this.
And about 3 seconds is all I can read into it as far as someone that did take tyres and didn't take tyres.
But the thing is here, Rob Bowden's taken tyres, but what deficit has he got because he did? Nothing. He's still sitting right on the back of Ben Roberts.
And Bailey Evans, we're not 100% sure. His stop was short as well. I don't think Bailey took tyres.
Now we're off green. Ben's gunned it immediately.
Yeah.
I think Ben Roberts has probably got the pace to be able to hold Rob off, but tyres is going to be the question.
Big wobble there for, I think that was Mazoka. It's, I mean, how much tyre temp do they lose under safety car? Is that simulated in iRacing?
There is a fair bit when you go slow like that. You will lose it, but I would think probably the end of one lap, they'll be back to full temperature.
Favel's complaining about the restart as O'Gorman takes a look down the inside of Hardy. Good job, and chops off his nose as well and says, I'll take that place, thank you very much.
So he wasn't so much complaining about it as he's just questioning. So, and all the guys have the right to say, race control, can you review that? If they're unsure of what's gone on and they want to make sure they've got the right thing and that it's been seen.
This is close.
That's a big move.
Chris Wazell, great move. Just threw it down the inside, and
very bold move.
Clayton as well. You got to give him a big bit of respect for that because he left the door open. Could have easily shut that and created an incident.
He was very aware of where he was and left him just the room he needed.
14.8 on the restart lap there. So Robert's new fastest lap of the race. He's moving.
Copy 6-2.
Well, Bowden's going with him.
Nikoloff's off the track. Nikoloff is now back on the track. Nikolon.
Really impressed with Rob Bowden tonight. I think he's trying to. He knows Ben's got a lot of speed, but he's using everything in his armory to try and attack Ben. So he's using strategically with tyres, the way he's driven the race, the way he's looking after the car. It's really interesting to see, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and Nixon has lost the front wing, I think.
Yep.
And Riso Gorman now as well is off in the grass.
We've got it both of you, and yes, you can tow us and say.
Backs onto
I
the
hate
track.
to see cars reversing on the racetrack.
Yeah, so
very well aware, using his relative, knew there was no one there, obviously. See now, Rob's still putting pressure on Ben.
yeah, we're just on 10 minutes to go now, so we start another lap. The difference in lap time there is Rob Bowden now sets the fastest lap of the race with a 14.78. Roberts did a 14.74, but that did not count as the fastest lap of the race. It must have just gone off track somewhere that didn't count on the timing screen.
Well, you got it's a tough ask to beat Ben in a straight out fist fight on a racetrack, because Ben Roberts is one of the fastest guys in the world in an F3A, in an F3 Dallara. You would be hard pressed to find anyone anywhere in the world that's quicker than Ben Roberts. So yeah, that's a big challenge, and that's why I'm really impressed with the way Rob's tried to tactically attack him.
Yep. And this is where we'll see that play out in the next 10 minutes. We've got race control asking someone to stand by. We've got a lot of cars in the pit lane. Tiago, Connor, I think they're all probably retiring a lot of those cars. Favell's in there as well. Yeah, he's out of the car. You can see no helmet.
Waltz just called in something as well.
You can see no helmet in the car, so Greg's
Yeah.
called it a night, sadly, but on his debut to F3.
Mate, regardless of not finishing and sitting in the pits, he's made a great debut, and he's certainly made an impression. To be able to jump out of a V8 supercar and get into one of these and be in that top 5 or 6 in this competition is fantastic effort.
There's your new fastest lap of the race with a 1:14.2, so we're getting close to that 1:13 mark now at these late stages.
So there's Brian Cooper's received that instant under safety car, and he's received a drive through for that.
Yeah. So that was into the back of Nixon, I think, from memory.
Copy 25.
Bit of a train down further in the field like we saw in the Silver League tonight. This is from 14th down with Greentree, Wazell. And yeah, they're just following the leader at this stage. There's still some points to be gathered down that far back as Wazell almost goes into the back of Greentree. He's really pushing his luck.
They might look like they're cruising, but I don't think they are.
Yeah, it's the outboard versus the onboard, isn't it? When you jump on board, that's where you start to see the cars dancing around a lot more. Look at the way Greentree's...
Such a good corner with that crest in the middle of it, and the car gets lightened a bit sideways on the way out.
It's a little bit Alden Park. There's something about it, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. And up through Thunder Valley here. It's run wide. Run wide in the grass. Opportunity down the inside, and we've got another place. Come on, he's fighting.
Or do we?
Oh. Now, side by side into turn 1, a brave man here to go down the outside.
Car 7-4, you received 20 seconds.
Oh, and he's pulled it off. He's pulled it off.
Oh, look in the background too, Ben.
Yep.
Trying to just be a part of this, and now he'll try and challenge her up around the outside. And not enough grip out there. Tucks back in line, and behind him, Scotty is now also attacking. And you can see Sinisi as well, that bright red car in the background. Still 18th place, but that's up 18 spots from the race start position, so not too bad.
That was another pass, that 113 going round the outside of turn 1 was at Chris Whitesell again.
Yep.
That's 2 fantastic overtakes we've seen from Chris tonight.
Yeah.
That's the thing with this racing, Luke. It's not just about having a lap speed. You've got to race, and you've got to be able to pass people. And this is really, really, really tight. We've got a whole field covered by less than a second, 40 cars within a second, and you've got to try and pass them. And to make a pass out there is a really cool thing. So, that's part of that whole art and craft of racing.
You've got to have good RaceKraft, and we've got to have RaceKraft to keep this thing alive. So big thanks to RaceKraft Simulators, who have come on board again for this season for the F3A, and big thanks to them. Big thanks to VRS as well. Make sure you put that code word in for tonight's.
What was that code word again, Roy?
Woodchuck, a woodchuck would, if a woodchuck would. Something like that. What would a woodchuck would if a woodchuck would? Woodchuck is the code word. I was trying to look up that riddle. But yeah, if you can put that code word in, that will get you a chance to win. And I can tell you right now, it's a fantastic prize. If you love your sim racing, you love your iRacing, that VRS package will help you get faster, helps you analyze your data, and just makes you quicker.
We've got a nice little set of sponsors here, because RaceKraft give you all your rig and your wheels and everything that you need to go racing. Fabulous outfit over there. Great knowledge of sim racing. So not just are you buying a product, but you're buying that knowledge that comes with it. Then you can go to VRS and they'll teach you how to drive it. Fantastic. And then you can look good with lovely stickers. Go to Lovely Stickers FR, Instagram, Facebook, follow them. And the more you follow them, the more benefit that comes back to us, and the more benefit that comes back to everybody. And if you're interested in buying something, F3A Lovely, discount code, all caps, 10% discount next 6 months, and you can look good, you can be fast, and you got the best gear in town. What a great set of sponsors.
It's very cool. And for those that want the palmets, how much wood would a woodchuck how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Try and say that fast.
No thanks.
So tonight's code word woodchuck. And
I don't think we're going to forget that now, Luke.
into the last phase of the race now. 4 minutes to go. They will have to do a lap after that time has.
Ben's put the pedal to the metal, and he's pulled out that 1.7 second gap over Rob Bowden here. But Rob's 3 seconds up the road in front of Butler, so he's sitting there easy.
Sure says, so does Dave Roberts drive in the real world? Yep, you're speaking with I'm speaking. I've got the privilege of speaking with an Australian Formula 4 champion tonight, which is fantastic, and really appreciate your commentary, mate, and the insight, because, you know, I sit back and love when you start talking about that whole setting up of cars and you know, what a formula like Formula Ford can do to a driver's ability to understand mechanical grip. That was really cool. So if you're just tuned in, make sure you go back and listen to that about 20 minutes ago. Some real good insight here from Dave Roberts, who's joined me tonight.
And just so you know, with this F3A series, the setup is a standard setup. So Roo actually sets the cars up, and Roo's very, very good at setting up a sim car. So he sets up the setup, so you don't have to spend hundreds of hours tweaking wings and springs and all sorts of things and getting yourself baffled. It is one setup. Everybody's running the same setup on the same car. And we've all got equal engines, which is not like it is in the real world. But so every car is equal, and then you just go out and it's just about learning to drive it. So, you know, anybody who's having a thought about, oh, I'd like to get involved, but I don't want to get all that setup time and everything on there, you don't need to. Come and join the guys in F3A. Just register with F3A on Facebook and on Discord. Turn up to the pre-qualifying session. So they run a pre-qualifying session on Saturday, Sunday and Monday. You don't have to do them all. You can turn up to one for 5 minutes. You just have to log a time. And those sessions are used to sort the 80 plus guys who turn up to pre-qualify into two servers, which is our gold and our silver. And the fastest 40 go in gold, and the second 40 go into silver, and then turn up on Tuesday night and have the best fun you can have with your clothes on.
Haha, it's so cool. Wazelle making another move there, and just on that setup, I was thinking, you know, in a real world Formula Ford, if you make it an adjustment, you really feel it, right? But in a sim, do you feel it as much? You know, you make those adjustments in the virtual car. Can you actually feel it? I always felt like you couldn't, but maybe I don't have the best setup.
Well, you do, but you don't.
You feel faster, but you don't actually feel like that physical change to the car. I don't think anyway.
Well, I can feel the physical changes to the car because I do quite a bit of work with setup in the sim world as well. But you do definitely feel the changes in the car, but they're just not quite as obvious because you haven't got that seat of the pants feel that you get in a real race car, you know.
Yeah.
But you do certainly get it. You certainly get the difference, and in some things you actually get more.
Right. That's good to know, because that's where, you know, in the fact that you can actually plug Motec into this sim and read your data back and make changes and, you know, analyze things to such great depths is really a credit to how well iRacing has done with that.
Yeah, you don't need any of that for this series though, because it's a fixed setup. You don't need your Motec. You don't need to read data. You don't have to go to that level. It is designed for entry-level guys to come in and be able to compete with some of the fastest guys in the world. We're watching one of them now. You know, it allows you to come in and compete against these guys and learn. And we're seeing guys come from the world of V8s, etc., coming in here because it's something new. It's a new challenge for them, and it's lots of fun.
25 seconds to go. He's going to have to do one more lap. Let's hope he's good for fuel here, Benjamin Roberts, but he'll cross the stripe now with 15 seconds to go in the race. So one more lap. Well, he's walked away 3.4 seconds. I thought it would have been a lot closer, but, you know, he's just got that ability, hasn't he? He's been able to just wipe off any chance of a challenge. But look at this battle for P3. This is the final step of the podium.
P3.
Butler, Evans, and Zanni's there as well. And tell you what, Christopher Mitchell is part of this too. This could end up being...
This could end up This is either.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
There goes two of them.
You did it again.
Yeah,
You
so
did it again.
I know. I was about to say this could be a Bradbury moment. Mitchell's now up into fourth.
You've done it again.
And, wow, Butler and Evans will be spewing about that, but Zanny has moved up, and here comes, oh, no, that's a lap car, isn't it? So, no, it's not. This is all for position.
Whose race do you want to ruin now? Luke, come on.
Well, that was, it was always going to happen. There was 3 or 4 cars there over the one part of real estate.
You're going to get the Luke doll with pins.
Roberts is coming down to the last couple of corners now, so this has been a great performance. He pitted lap 8 on that first opportunity, and he's going to take the checker flag. Yeah, takes the checker flag to win round number 4 of this F3A series. And what a great win from Rob Bowden, who credit to him as well.
Brilliant drive.
Yeah, he's
Rob threw everything at it, and as all the tactical nous as well, which was really great to see.
Alex takes a podium as well, ahead of Chris Mitchell, and Mazoka starts or finishes 5th. So great drive. Yeah, we'll get the full results up.
Will Ryan in 6th, another great drive, and looks like Bailey Evans has managed to hang on to 7th. So, because he's well up in the series. So.
I want to give a quick shout out to Chris as well, Wazell, who we saw make 1,000 overtakes tonight.
Fantastic overtakes.
He's gone up 28 positions to get into the top 10, so that's to me one of the drives of the night.
Yeah, fantastic drive and some beautiful overtakes in there.
Mega, righto. We'll hopefully get some drivers for a quick chat. We'll put some music on. We'll get the results from iRacing shortly. We'll wrap it up all here. Looking forward to the interviews just to hear what the cars felt like tonight. Benjamin Roberts is smoking the tyres off it out there.
Yeah.
He'll be happy with that.
Enjoyed that one.
He has. Look at the marks he's left down there. That's decent.
It was unfortunate to see that little incident up at the keyhole on the last lap, but mate, it was nobody did anything deliberate. It was just 2 guys fighting really hard for something they really wanted.
That's it. Here are your race results too. Coming up on the screen right now as Roberts expires that engine. He wins it by 3.8 seconds in the end over Rob Bowden. And Alex Zanny at top 3. We'll flick through all the positions right down the order. You can see your favourite drivers as we just stand by for the top 3 to come in. I'm hearing a lot of rev limiters at the moment. I think Rob Bowden's out there celebrating too. I can hear you. There he is down on the pit straight there, smoking the tyres. And Alex as well for RaceKraft, doing what he loves to do, giving us some donuts, and he just destroys his car. But let's bring him in, Benny Roberts with the win tonight. Congratulations, Ben. That was an incredible drive, which sees you take another win in this series.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. Really good start. It was playing for the safety car, and I risked it a little bit. I thought I was going in a bit early, but I was able to save a bit of fuel, and I was pretty clear on fuel at the end.
Now, were you aware that you didn't take tyres, and we saw Rob Bowden, he did take tyres?
Yeah, I thought that's why his pit stop was a bit longer, and he was struggling a bit on the restart. It takes a few laps for the tyres to get up to temperature here, so it wasn't really worth it.
And Rob, P2 tonight. I'll let Dave throw a few questions at you, but great drive.
So, Rob, we saw you dive into the pits there right behind Ben, and your car popped up in the air, so obviously you took some tyres?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So that was a nice little strategic decision. You could see Ben hadn't taken tyres, and then just sit in the traffic and wait for a safety car to put you on his tail again.
That was the plan, but yeah, Benny was about a 10th lap quicker than me all weekend, so I thought I got to try something. I'm not going to get him on pure same strategy alone, and it really hurt on the restart with the lap cars in front. I was getting a lot of push. I was under attack. I lost quite a bit of time, but they come up to temp and sort of got back. I thought there's no point pushing. I wasn't trying to pass cars. I just wanted to sit there, save a little bit of fuel if I could, because I knew we were going to be tight. I'm glad we got that safety car when we did. I probably had half a lap of fuel at the end there, so but yeah, it was had to try something. I figured if we're gonna get another safety car, it would have been up his butt, and hopefully the tyres were going to do something, but not really. So that's all right.
Unfortunately, Andy just had a little bit too much speed, didn't he? But it was great to see not just attacking him, but actually trying those strategic things to try and unsettle him, give yourself an edge. That's fantastic, and it's great to see that in F3A.
Yeah, that's it. I wasn't going to get him on pure speed alone this weekend. He, like I said, he had about a 10th on me all weekend, and at the end there, when he started pulling away, I got out of the draft zone, and I was like, just back it down, don't do anything stupid, and cruise to second. So yeah, it was a good result.
Nice job.
P3, Alec, great fight at the end there. You saw a bit of contact in front of you, and you snuck through what was a 4-way battle for P3, and you've got yourself on the podium.
Yeah, I even said to Chris moments before that accident at the end that it was going to happen. They were looking pretty racy and pretty dicey, so I kind of was expecting something to happen. But yeah, definitely didn't have the pace to win tonight, but found myself in P1 in the middle of the race after a couple of the front boys took a pit stop. And then, yeah, kind of just got in the right place at the right time. So yeah, fucking super chuffed with the P3.
Great drive tonight. Let's do some thank yous, starting with our race winner tonight, Benjamin Roberts. Who would you like to thank, mate?
Big thanks to Machine Cult, Mini Muscle Cars, Dream Simulation, True Blue Electrics, Ben Hurst Signs, FRG for putting this on, and all the series sponsors.
Well done, Rob. P2, who would you like to thank for tanked SRT?
Yeah, cheers, Luke. Yeah, just everyone that runs it, all the FRG boys and yourself for broadcasting. All the tank boys, like we got all 6 of us into gold split again tonight, so it's a real coup for us to do that. It's going to be good for team championships and that as well. So, and the tank sponsors, BA Crocs, Dirt Division, and my personal sponsors, Direct Plasterboard Outlet, DPO, and Extreme Carts Warners Bay.
Great drive. And Alec, finally in P3 for RaceKraft, who would you like to thank?
Just again, huge thank you to John Lee for allowing me to use his equipment and sponsoring me in the series. Without him, I wouldn't be doing any racing at all, let alone a series to the quality of this one. So huge thanks to John. Would love to have a shout out to my personal sponsor, Easy Tax. And yeah, cheers to you guys for the commentary and all the boys for running the event, and all the boys in the RaceKraft team makes these events what they are and incredibly fun. And it's a good little chin wag. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done to our
like a Chris Mitchell in the background.
Well done to our top 3 tonight, and another night run done. It's round number 4 from this what is a more traditional racetrack. Where are we off to next week?
We're off to Auto Club Speedway, a roval with quite a big infield, and then towards the end of the infield, I think it's just a parking lot with a bunch of
cones.
Yep.
Interesting. Are you still there, Rue?
I think Rue just fell over.
It sounded like Rue just dropped out. I reckon he's dropped his mic.
So anyone, how's that? Is that better?
No.
Yeah, we thought you'd done an SVG and run up for a vomit.
Right. I thought you dropped your mic into your glass of wine.
Oh, probably. Where did we get up to? We got up to Auto Club Speedway?
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be hectic. Did anyone get the how much wood could a woodchuck actually chuck?
Yes, we got that.
A fair bit.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. It's 318 kilos. So how about that?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So if a woodchuck, or what are they, marmots or whatever they are, if they could chuck wood the same as they dig their burrows, apparently it's 318 kilos. I googled it while you were saying it. So there is an answer to that riddle.
How much wood would a woodchuck wood if woodchuck would?
Yeah, there you go. It's my useless information for the week.
It's incredible. It's like ants, you know. The ants could carry like a jumbo jet on their back. But it's late. We've got to finish up.
Yeah.
A great night of racing, mate. What have you got in race control reports from the race quickly?
We've got a few post-race to do. Gold was actually really good until the last half, and then a whole stream of incidents came through. We've got a few post-race going through, a couple from Mickey, a couple from Reese O'Gorman. Not too bad. Apart from that, everyone was reasonably well behaved.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to getting back on a roval next week for round number 5. Massive thanks tonight, Rue, for all your hard work, but massive thanks to Dave Roberts for all his insight in the comm box. It's absolutely been fantastic to have him alongside me.
Awesome. It sounded excellent.
Yeah, and I've got a driver for the night. 2 guys, I want to say. Rob Bowden, great job.
Yep.
Strategic, fantastic. And Chris Whitesall, some of the best passing I've seen. So, boys, thanks for making the night.
Definitely. Right. Excellent drive. Right, we'll see you again next week, same time, same place, for round number 5 for this F3A powered by FRG. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Cheers.
Good night. Right, so, folks, that was it. Another night of racing. I just went off into the distance then. Another night of racing done here on Race Stars TV. Back with you tomorrow night for the IPRA round number 7, I think it is now. And then, then a couple of days off. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night around 8 o'clock for that series. Until then, my name's Luke. Good night.